boys, is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.
Hey everyone, Jedi Mike here, and I'm back with another video. Hope you guys can hear me and see me. Welcome back to Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. I'm your host, Jedi Mike 7, and today we're going to be covering a few topics today in the world of movies and giving you all the information going on in the space and stuff, giving you our thoughts and our perspective. I got somebody in the back right here, partner of crime, a co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Jay King. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing very good, and ready for what we got to discuss today.
Yes. So as you see in the topic or the thumbnail of the video, we're going to be talking about Godzilla -1. We do got a few other topics we're going to cover after our little review of the show, but but make sure you guys comment down in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on the topics we discussed here today. Sorry, I'm really tired, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. That is the work been hitting me differently today, and stuff. And so yeah. Check out the comment section right now. Shout out to my wife Tamika. Hope she knows she's safe. She knows she's watching right now. Love you, sweetheart, though. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to get it through today, but I won't apologize in advance. I am a little bit tired. But I have to say that yesterday, not yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yeah. I had the privilege of I had the privilege of watching one of the biggest surprises of the year for me. And without a doubt, wholeheartedly, this is by far is the best Godzilla movie. The best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. Period. Yep. It's the best. Without doubt, no hyperbole, no exaggeration. This is the best Godzilla film I have seen to date. But before I give my thoughts on it, J. King, what were your thoughts on Godzilla -1?
Well, yeah. Again, as I said, this film was amazing. He and I saw it yesterday, and it was incredible. I I didn't know what to expect going into this. I mean, I've seen a lot of Godzilla films, especially the MonsterVerse ones with him and Kong from Japan, straight from
Oh, you're breaking up.
Toho to American cinemas as well as being released
Oh,
in
you're
Japanese cinemas. I knew that we were in for something special with it. Can you hear me?
yeah, you were breaking up. Yeah, you were breaking up, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were breaking up. Oh,
Oh,
can you not
okay.
see me?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me clearly now?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
I can see you. I can see you.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So, anyways, as I was saying, yes, we had the privilege of seeing this film yesterday, and it was incredible. I loved every single moment of this film from start to finish. Not only was this visually pleasing, it was also emotionally and character driven. Like it's a lot to discuss, but just basically saying it's exactly what old school fans of Godzilla and maybe even new school fans of Godzilla would want from their Godzilla movie. Not a hero, not a villain, just straight up a beast that will cause the most amount of havoc. Tie that together with a story about survivor's guilt, you got an incredible story right here. And I highly encourage everybody to go see this. Again, we have the privilege of having this come straight from Toho, Japan to American cinemas. Please see this. You're muted.
Damn, I was muted. My apologies. My thoughts on the film was the fact that this is basically what you considered filmmaking 101. Now, what I mean by that, this film costs about uh only not about around give or take $15 million to make. $15 million to make. Not 100 million, not 250, $15 million.
You serious?
I'm serious. I'm serious. And to me, I felt like this film cold-heartedly contextualized difference between not only the fact that you have multiple different Godzilla properties that are happening at the same time currently, which is I can't believe the world we live in where we have three properties going on at the same time right now. But anyway, everybody love to have their cinematic universe and all that stuff, right? And after with COVID and everything, you had Godzilla versus Kong, and now they want to make a sequel called Godzilla King Kong New Empire, right?
Which
But aside
dropped
from
while we were watching this.
right as we were watching this movie, there the trailer for the film dropped while we're watching it. But I was like, man, forget this movie. Forget this movie. I'm watching Godzilla versus I'm watching Godzilla -1 because again, going back to filmmaking 101, going back to saying that more money does not equal better quality. It does not equal better quality. If anything, it's how you use your dollar, how to use the arts of filmmaking, traditional forms of filmmaking, using props, using certain techniques with visual effects, not just with certain green screen, blue screen, stuff like that. And yes, there's a lot of that in there, give or take. But again, not to the extent of what we've been seeing in how modern day Hollywood movies been making today, right? So and the fact that you have not only this being a very diverse cast, what I think believes all Japanese cast, all no uh English or anything whatsoever in this film. Only just subtitles and all that stuff. And regardless of that, this gives you back the feel of like Squid Games when we saw it on Netflix, where it's opening a broader audience to another side of of community in terms of filmmaking, that if you can just accept the little 2-inch, text bar, you are opening a new wave of cinema that you really haven't experienced before, or maybe I just have that been that represented, or somehow been kind of kept under the rug, brush under the rug in Hollywood for many years. However, that
Mhm.
time is changing. But I wanted to talk about not just from the visual effects too, but also the sound mixing in this film too. Like it's not like yet you have the traditional Godzilla from I think it's the Universal main like movies and stuff like that, but this is completely different.
Mhm.
The Going back to this film is taking place in the 40s. It's taking place in I believe 1945 during at the end of World
Mhm.
War II, and you're following a soldier who was part of the kamikaze crew, but then he flee to avoid it, and basically you're seeing him dealing with the ramifications of the war, along with dealing with other characters too. But the big thing about it is not the fact that that Godzilla was done very well. We've seen him before many different iterations, but this goes back to the traditional Godzilla lore, that this story was not just about Godzilla, but it was about the devastation that this community, the people face when Godzilla is a threat. He's a colossal threat that's coming. Not and I know that
Mhm.
today that we get iterations of him trying to modernize him, more um when the more superhero element into it, even though like in the movies it definitely get to that, when they bring other like kaiju, like Ghidorah and other stuff like that, Mothra, whatever, I forgot the the other names of the kaiju, but it went back to this is like, no, this is about the people. It's a humanized story. You have multiple elements for people being affected, and again giving kind of old definite definition of like World War II films or Vietnam films and stuff like that. Like go back to the classic war movies that you experienced watching many years ago, and you know how sometimes movies like to come back to that, like Dunkirk or other films like that. But this definitely went back to again the general forms of filmmaking, and I have to give applause to where, okay, yeah, it might be brushed under the rug, where people did not expect this to be as good as it was, but the fact that it just to me is that this whole year, and I'm gonna do a video about this. This whole year is textbook about how big movie studio corporations are not doing, are going to also the more business sides of filmmaking instead of terms of the art and our style of filmmaking, which means that you try and create a piece of art. You're not just trying to make an investment. Yes, I understand it's show business and stuff like that, but when you're just backing a film and just throwing just dumb money out there, and I maybe dumb money is the right term to say, just because of the fact that you're seeing these films overly produced but not getting returned their investment. And this movie definitely got a return investment day one, or at least definitely the weekend. So, and that's what to me I felt this was a sight to see. The fact that we have this film to actually look at, and hopefully as a template for movie studios to follow, hopefully, as we move forward in terms of not just going back to traditional forms of filmmaking, but more appreciating that, hey, even though we have this advancement of technology and AI, and that's a conversation, but going back to the roots of filmmaking, this is what this film I felt does to that. And yes, this is a long
Mhm.
movie. The pacing, I felt for the most part was there. I mean, understanding a war movie, you have to understand that there's moments where it can be slow, just to build up for the climax at the end and everything. However, this film does, for me, a 3-hour film pay off definitely at the end. Because I was like, okay, this is getting long, but I'm like, no, it didn't. Your time is well invested, and you get and it pays off definitely when you stick through this film. So but yeah, JK, I want to know what was your other thoughts on the film, in terms of like sound mixing or other things, the pacing, or even just also the performances in this movie as well.
Okay. Well, I want to say that there's one complaint that I've always seen people talk about whenever it comes to like, these type of stories, with like kaiju of Godzilla or Kong, or even other stories like, say, the Transformers franchise, for example. a main complaint people always say about is that I'm not here for the story of the humans. I want to see these big, colossal, giant titans fight. But the thing about this film, they make you care. Like these characters drive the story of this film based on the location they're at, the profession they have. Like you care about every single one of these characters to the fact that you're hoping they either survive or take out Godzilla. And that is a testament because that's usually the one thing people always complain about with these films. No, you will care about every single one of these characters from the moment you interact with them because you understand that these are characters that have survived war, that are seeing war happen between their eyes. They are basically witnessing a natural disaster happening for them in the form of Godzilla, and they're just trying to do all their best to survive. Our kamikaze pilots, the girl and the baby that he ends up meeting, the friends that he makes, during his, new journey after the war that also have connections to this whole thing. All of them are just trying to live honest, normal lives, and then boom, in comes Big Boy Zilla, who, yes, the CGI looks for the most part amazing. I especially love what they did with the atomic breath and all that, the spikes coming up and down and all that. But seriously, like just the way the performances were done in this film, along with the sound mixing, like again, one of my favorite moments in this film has to be the third time Zilla shows up in the city. This is the city one, and you could just feel the panic in people because sometimes you can feel it in other movies, but no, you definitely feel the panic of people trying to run and not get squished by the foot of this dude or crushed under the rubble of a building. He just topples over like it's a freaking Lego set. Like you could feel it in every moment, every impact, like gust of wind, every person trying to run away, every child trying to figure out where their parents are and all that. Like it was just insane, that whole scene. It was insane every single scene. Like again, my top scene has to be that scene. Second top will have to be the finale fight. But I just love every single moment about this film and every single one of these characters, these actors. They again, there's a moment again from that third Godzilla moment that I just like to title acting with your face for our main character. There was no words needed. His expression gave it all. And again, like some of these Japanese actors I've actually seen from like other Toho or other Japanese films because I dive into that every now and then. And again, like they just did a fantastic job like emulating the urge, like both the mundane everyday life of back then and the urgency of trying to get away from this dude. So I just got to give it up to them, to the sound mixing, to the casting, and again, practical sets. Again, for the most part, it was practical sets. You can tell obviously when Zilla shows up in the city around him that most of that, especially for the destruction, has to be CGI. But otherwise, again, as we said, money well spent. And this dude right here, a great lead to follow because you can understand where this dude is coming from the moment we meet him in the film post World War II. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Just again, there's so much I could say about this film, but I just love this film. And this is definitely one of my top 5 of this year.
Yeah, because we basically were looking at each other like, okay, all right, I'm at the end. I'm like, or third act of it is like, hey, this is definitely like top 10, right? And then when we get one, reveal at the end, I was like, oh no, this is top 5. This is top
Yeah,
5.
yeah, that those last moments was just like, nah, this is top 5. This is
Right,
top 5
because
instantly.
again, it's just like, um, look, because there's moments when you're, people are trying to understand, like, what the devastation was going on, and people are having chaos and all that stuff, right? And then, you have few characters who stick up and, in the times of crisis, and especially just one scene with the middle of the uh rest of the remaining men of the cities and everything that's been destroyed, and everybody's like arguing and bickering, and then you got the one guy who basically has no solution to basically try to find something to find Godzilla, because Godzilla is not just a threat, it's also a spirit that's like whelming over this entire country, and the fact that people lost hope because Godzilla's here, but the dude comes in saying,
That's it,
like,
time out. Guys, let's all calm down, yeah? We're all worked up. Let's all just, chill the F out.
And some people were dipping. Some people were like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my wife and kids. Peace, and dipped. But nah, no, some folks, they stayed. But regardless of it, most of this movie, you still get uh the trauma. You still
Emotional damage.
You get the emotional damage, all of that and everything. But more importantly, you get the panic.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait. Everybody calm down. No.
Yeah, you get the panic and everything. So it's all of that. And but again, I'm appreciate this film to escape away from that. But yeah, long story short, this is definitely one of my top 5 films of the year. Again, I still got a whole laundry list to go. Like, I saw one movie last night, American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright, and who I just also had the privilege of talking to. That you guys will see that interview drop this week, hopefully. Yeah, I saw that film last night. So, but I got a whole laundry list though. But definitely, it's gonna be in the top 10 conversation because I still haven't seen every movie of the year. But yeah. But more importantly, what do you guys think? Have you guys seen Godzilla -1? Please go see this movie. Please support filmmakers. Please go support cinema. Because instead of these big budget $1 million movies, what's more important is the fact that you're supporting filmmakers. Not only have the technique of what to do when they have a low budget, but the fact that if they can do this with $15 million, we think they can do not one, not twice, 3 or 4 times that money. You give it to the right person, you give it to the right studio that is smart, not working harder by just dumping a whole trunk load of money and making it, oh, well, it costs $250 million. It must make $1 billion. No. This film proved you wrong. And hopefully, again, this film is case study for filmmakers and more importantly, movie studios when financing these movies and also decide the projects they want to make is go back to the basics. It's actually taking 2 steps forward, not 6 steps back, because that's what we're heading to right now. But yeah, that is our review of Godzilla, King of Monsters. Not. Why I keep saying that? Not the other one. I'm getting. There's too many Godzillas. Damn it! There's too many Godzillas.
Well,
Listen, we have 4 or 5 Godzillas. We got Monarch. We got a TV show on Apple TV, I think. Then we get this Godzilla and King Kong, New Empire, and the First Order and shit. In a couple of months and mess with Diddy Kong bitch ass. And I don't know. There's too many damn Godzillas and it's the best. But don't see those. See this damn movie, man. Shit.
I mean, out of those, I can at least recommend Monarch. It's been good. I can at least recommend Monarch.
I bet it is good. But just yeah. Anyway, all right, but go on to our next segment here. We actually had some big news to drop, as you know. Again, we have entered our last Marvel movie of the year, which is the Marvels. Not our last Marvel property. We still got during Christmas, you still got What If and all that stuff, all that jazz. I hope that be fun for y'all. But yeah, and releasing an episode one day at a time, going leading up to Christmas. But going into next year, there's still one movie that is still my most anticipated movie of the year for next year. And we just got some big reveals. Spoilers. But before we get to that goes to the section, what's new with the MCU? And we're back, y'all. So, as you may not know, there's a movie that's coming out in July of next year, to be exact. And that film is no other than Deadpool 3. No, for those you guys do not know, Deadpool 3 is still one of my most anticipated movies of next year. But as with technology and cameras and all that stuff, the internet, all it is, the dark web, some may call it. We actually got
back
some
rooms.
leaks. What'd you say?
The back rooms.
What back rooms?
We're talking about where all these things come from, come from the back rooms.
Oh yeah, come from the back room, back chats, all that stuff like that. Right. Talking about Deadpool 3, right? But now I may warn you. Spoiler alert. Hold on, where my thing at?
View at your own discretion. View this
View
at
at
your
your own
own
discretion.
discretion.
Right, because there's been a lot of set photos that have been coming out. Obviously, you see the set photo here, which reveals Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in his classic X-Men gear and stuff. And mind you, the SAG after strike is over, and we get some set photos and stuff. They're back to filming, and we get some more set photos, and we get some more nice one. Oh, look at there! Look at there! Look at them! Look at them!
Yeah,
right.
Not too close, Ryan.
Right, look at them, they're being happy, they're back to filming and all that stuff like that, right? So, but then, we see other pictures as it goes on, right? Oh, here's a nice one. Let me say my right here. You have this one with the director. Well, what do you see? You see, Wolverine got some katanas in him and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right?
I think Wade I think Wade forgot exactly what his back katana holders used to be, because they're not called Wolverine, Ryan.
Right, exactly. Right. But then we get more set photos and stuff, and we see other things such as like wait a minute, who what is that? What is that? What is that? Oh, wait a minute. I think, can it be? Can it actually be? Oh, it is. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We got some set photos confirming that the original Sabretooth from the X-Men movie, the first X-Men movie, it's going to be returning.
Not Origins, not the Origins version, the very first X-Men movie of 2000, the first Sabretooth.
Right. Yeah. We get a lot of set photos from that, but yeah, we get confirmation that he is going to be returning into this film. We know dealing with the multiverse and other stuff like that. However, and stuff like that. So there's gonna be a lot of crazy things that's gonna be happening. But even then, we expect some crazy things. Obviously it's Deadpool and all that stuff, right? But I never actually expected stuff like this to happen.
What is that?
See, at this moment, I really should encourage people to just forget that we showed you any of that. Just forget out, But no, you can't escape this.
Wait,
this is
what?
You literally can't escape this. You can't escape this, man.
I mean,
yeah.
hey, it's a good thing they're telling us, rather than it be a very low quality photo that gets sent to a certain somebody and he thinks that it's fan made, and then spoils the whole internet.
Yeah, and I honestly think this is amazing. So again, what the possibilities of this, obviously insinuate that one, Sabretooth is going to return. We also see classic, Wolverine suit fighting the first dude he really ever fought in a Marvel movie. Period. Is going back to OG almost 20 years, even 20 years. At least this is the first character that we actually see Wolverine go toe to toe with, right? But now I guess
A,
they're
re-
gonna return the
a
favor.
rematch that should have happened a long time ago, honestly.
Yeah, so but yeah, we've got we're seeing this, and a lot of people getting upset, like, man, you should have shown me that stuff. Now, this is me personally. We're in the age of 2023 where a lot of films and shows are being leaked, and everybody has this. They have a camera.
Yeah, in these
With this
days,
device,
you can't hide anything. In these days, you really can't hide anything.
with this device, you can do a lot of things. Trust me. But what do you understand that in the movie industry, people use this to make you or to break you. Now, these phones, man, let me tell you this, are the backbone of the film industry. Why? Because they can build you up and take you down so quick. Everybody's talking about this damn GTA trailer, by the way. This is my wife, by the way. Oh, I can't miss her. There she is. You see it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is my
Oh
wife,
yeah, I was
miss
here.
her.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like again, they leaked it a day early because GTA fans can't wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. That's what my phone keep ringing. Like, what? Like, I can shut this stuff off. Damn it. But yeah, shout out to Mike Entertainment in the building. Shout out to Mike. By the way, man, I got Fortnite. I got PS5. Now I revived my PS4 in almost 3 or 4 years. I revived it. Like, literally, it was hiding somewhere. I put it up, plugged it back in. And stuff like that, and I'm able to now play because it's a Blu-ray player, right? I don't have no Blu-ray player on me, no disc. My PS5 is digital, so I can't put anything on there. So I'm able to, to get my.
Oh yeah, you have the digital version. Okay,
I
I
have the
have the
digital
disc
version, so I can't play Blu-rays or DVDs on the PS5. So I'm keeping that PS4 around. And I open it and I'm like, okay, my stuff's still there, but I create a totally different account. It's still my name and everything. But yeah, I'm on Fortnite and stuff like that. So yeah, I now that was a phase, during those times a couple years ago, especially when I got into Rainbow Six Siege, but I won't talk about that. That was a lot of the toxic age. A lot of racist people on Rainbow Six. They're like a Call of Duty adjacent, because and also like that. Gaming culture, man, very, very toxic. But yeah. But going back to with Deadpool. Now listen, I don't feel that this is not revealing. I mean, yes, it's revealing too much, revealing major things, but I think this is on purpose. Again, I think this is absolutely on purpose. It's like, you think that, oh, we're just showing you this and this is it. Oh no, this is the big climax. Oh my god, I can't believe you showed me Sabretooth get killed. No. What we're showing you is how far we're going to go with this movie. As you might have also heard, there have been other reports too that we're going to get return of a lot of X-Men characters. We're going to return, hopefully, of Magneto. Hopefully, return of Professor X. We got Beast cameo at the end of the Marvels, the CGI. But what it looks like that
Yeah,
we
so
also
there's no way they're just going to use that. There's no way they're just going to use that model like once.
right, exactly. But it actually might be a possibility, but it's actually being reported that the last film we saw this man in was in Logan, and he wasn't alone. He wasn't alone. He's with somebody else. That character's doing the X-23, and now, mind you, that film came out many years ago. You can't believe it. Almost what, 2016, 17 or so. Logan.
I think
That's 5 or
I
6
think
years ago.
17.
Yeah, and that little girl, the X-23, she grew up now, and it looks like she's reported that she's going to be returning to Deadpool 3 as X-23. Now, this is not no confirmed by Marvel or anything. And this picture right here is not
Yeah,
real. It's made
no,
by
that
AI.
that picture is yeah, no, that picture is fake. Like it's just to give you an idea because for many fans who know X-23 eventually does take up the mantle of Wolverine when she does get older, like teenager, young adult wise, which could definitely happen if the reports are real if she's back. And if she is, welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah, this is nothing but excitement for me. Again, the more I'm hearing more of the casting, the better. I am excited to see what they have in store for this film. And again, I'm not worried what I see because it's what I actually see in the theater. That is the final product. I don't care what I see except photos. To be honest with you, I really don't. It doesn't ruin the experience for me because when I see it in the big screen, that's when it actually plays out. Because also I've seen set photos before, and then they cut out stuff, flash, you know. So, um, so yeah, like I see whole scenes and characters and people show up, and that goes away. So it doesn't ruin my expectation or not. It just makes me more excited that the fact that we're seeing a decapitated head, in Marvel Studios, right? Um, in all of its blazing glory and everything. Oh yeah, hold on, dang
Hmm.
it. But yeah, but aside from all that, yeah, X-23 had been reported that she might return, and I'm okay with that. Again, I'm excited for it. And she said in interviews that, hey, I'm waiting for the call. If they want me back, I'll be back. So, and
And
this,
and for anybody who was like, "Wait a minute, didn't they say they weren't gonna touch on Logan since that Wolverine's not from Logan, but from like earlier in the timeline, most likely from the Wonderful Life ending of Days of Future Past, and they're not gonna touch Logan?" Well, they're not gonna undo his death, but bringing X-23 like years later is not gonna mess with anything.
right. And again, we're hearing a lot of reports and theories and all that stuff there. I'm waiting for a trailer because I also know that they're gonna do some things where they're just like, hey, this is where we are right now, accept it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm okay with that. Because dealing with the multiverse, but more importantly, dealing with Deadpool, this is a character not to be taken so seriously. And the concepts and stuff they're gonna be doing, hopefully, will set up Secret Wars. But again, I'm just first just trying to just have a good, decent film. That's all I care about. So the fact that we have possibility getting this, X-23 and older and also comic book accurate because she was a little bit too young in the Logan film. That was an approach
Mhm.
trying to play up that Last of Us feel, but now she's older and looking more traditional X-23. So I'm all here for it. What are your
Mhm.
guys' thoughts on these pictures that's dropped from Deadpool 3 and uh, uh, the fact that what was the name? Daphne? What I forgot her name. Is it Daphne King? That her name? Um,
Something like that.
Daphne King. Yeah, it's Daphne King. Yeah,
Mhm.
your thoughts on Daphne King reportedly being cast as X-20 or returning as X-23 in Deadpool 3. Let us know down below. All right, our last topic of the day. Now, there was a trailer that dropped. Um,
Well, there was a bunch of
uh,
trailers that dropped over the weekend, but we're only talking about one.
yeah, there was one big trailer that dropped yesterday. Look, was it yesterday? No, this weekend,
2 days ago.
Friday.
Two
Yeah,
days
but I
ago.
think Friday or Saturday, and
Mhm.
we get our look at the boys season 4 after the to me the successful show of Gen V, the spinoff show leading up to this season. There's a lot of things to unpack here. I actually did a quick
Mhm.
breakdown video on my channel. Make sure you guys go check that out. But I'm actually going to show that to you guys right now, and we'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Jedi Mike 7 here, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down the new trailer for new season 4 of The Boys. We first off with a shot of Homelander as we see a voiceover related to his uprising to that of Roman Emperor Caesar, overthrowing the government and taking charge. This can lead to a version of the story from the original comics where Homelander, spoiler alert, kills President Victor Newman and claims office for himself. Now, in the Boys Amazon show, we can see that Victoria Newman is a female character and has powers, and also is currently the vice president. So things will certainly be different. However, there'll be parallels that will be taken throughout the show. We see conflict erupts as we see Homelander supporters, as well as supporters of Starlight, having a physical altercation involving police, fist thrown, and escalating through the protests and a violent display. We then see a shot revealing Homelander standing outside the courthouse looking smug as chaos erupts. Victoria Newman has been building her audience over the last 2 seasons of The Boys and the first season of Gen V. The trailer reveals Singer and Newman is standing on a stage and raising their joint hands together to celebrate a moment as balloons are released from above. Just take note that they probably have been elected as president and vice president of the United States. We get introduced to new characters such as Sister Sage and Firecracker, which are seen to be replacements for Starlight and Maeve. Neither of these characters are from the comics, however, we do see them join the rest of the members of the Seven along with Homelander. We also see the return of Homelander's son, Ryan, which we can see him being in a physical altercation with somebody that leads to their death. We get quick shots of Billy Butcher along with other members of the crew. However, we get introduced to a new character played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Although Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character has yet to be officially revealed, he greets Billy Butcher like an old friend. He appears familiar with Butcher's secretive group. It seems like Morgan's character will be aligned more closely to the boys in the suits, but this can be easily changed as the series progresses later in the season. We end the trailer with the final shot of Homelander covered in blood. This is no surprise that the gruesomeness of his character, that we can expect more coming from season 4 of The Boys. The Boys season 4 will be released in 2024. And we're back, y'all. So yeah, that was my trailer breakdown of The Boys season 4, and this first trailer, the teaser trailer came out this past weekend, and we do know, we confirmed that it will be coming out in 2024. Now, when exactly? Probably maybe April, maybe, hopefully, maybe March or February, March, possibly. But Jake Angelo, what was your thoughts on the first trailer of The Boys, what they revealed, and your speculation about what they have in store for season 4?
I mean, what I got from that whole trailer was basically, as you said, like, this is basically most likely going to be the most political and also the most like historical that the season is going to get. Because again, I can definitely see this being the case of people choosing Homelander to be in charge versus Starlight being in charge, and that that causing whole eruptions. And, comparing them to the likes of Caesar, with the new characters that we got, is basically trying to crush an empire, because last season Homelander got way too much of feeling like he's a monarch in a sense. So this season I see is going to be basically crush his ego in a sense, crush his ego and crush his whole like monarchy that he's trying to create, this world run by soups kind of situation. That's definitely where I see this season going. And of course, we cannot forget, what happened in Gen V with Victoria and what she had achieved. That's definitely going to play into this season with how she most likely plans to handle Homelander. Again, there's a lot going on in there that, again, thankfully, there's not too much to spoil or to give us too much of an idea of where the story's going to go, except for the basics. And thankfully, it doesn't even give away some of the stuff that happened within Gen V for some of the people that hadn't had a chance to watch it yet. Which, if you haven't, please watch it. But yeah, I'm here for it. I am definitely here for season 4. And I'm curious just how long this story could go, because they even said this story could potentially even go past their initial like 5-season, like, we can probably at least make 5 seasons. I think this is definitely going to go way past that, depending on where they go from here.
Yeah, there's a lot in terms of what they could do in terms of this season and everything, because the fact that it's getting to that point of like, I don't see once we reach season 5, I have questions of like, where are you going from here? Because honestly, at this point, and even though the show getting a little political and satire of it all and all that stuff like that, that it's getting point of going to the to an election as it is, but going to the White House. And like I said, I think they're probably just going to pull a January 6th, rip off, and everything. But
I
and but
mean, at this point, I wouldn't put it past them to replicate that. I mean, The Boys has been known to replicate that type of stuff not long after it happens. And again, that was only like what 2 years ago now.
yes, but no, 2 or 3, almost about to be 3. But with that, it's like knowing the comics is almost like it's kind of coincidence, just the fact how not only saying the world is shifting to it, but just like the show is mimicking the world. However, the world is mimicking what's going on in the comics of how Homelander is kind of going to the White House, overthrowing government and everything, which is why for me personally, I just felt that this was just a great a great rendition of terms of the comics and stuff to in terms of what the show could be again. Because listen, I'm gonna say right now, I don't give a damn about you guys' politics and stuff, but you have to do one thing: is that this show does a lot of things it doesn't really, and I feel like we don't really give it credit, especially what's going on with Gen V. The fact that they, people claim about things about being wokeness and everything. Bot literally is acting like Disney or whatever as a corporation that tries to, do, or just movie studios in general who just try to do things for to stay in line with PC culture, and it's all about the publicity, about the press and all that stuff, right? It's not about what we can actually, we don't care about saving people's lives. We care about numbers. We care about ratings. We care about that. The court of public opinion, which is why now in this particular season, we're now seeing Homelander now getting to a position where he wants to be, someone that is taken seriously, but also at the same time, the same line with Homelander is that he can do whatever the f he wants, right? So I think again, what the stuff that we got through this trailer is a lot. However, I want to talk about the comment or the quote that was made about Julius Caesar about, hey, listen, democracy always falls, right? Because people don't know what they're talking about, are idiots. Right. But again, is that also meta commentary of the world we're living in right now? That's why I think this show is fascinating. It's just, again, it's that it's a comedy. Yes, a comedy superhero show and everything, but they're doing things like the writing of this show is still just standing on. Yeah, we want to be meta and political, but at the same time, it's still staying on the trope of just telling a good story. Right, and the fact that it has a coincidence how the world we're living in, I think only makes it better, and better the fact that they're even addressing some of these issues and stuff in a meta, comedy or satire way. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, dude, things do definitely look like going to, especially with Billy Butcher. We see that Billy Butcher is he does. Even though he is returning, that we do see that after the events of season 3, where he does have an illness, after him using the temp V, that's going to be basically saying he got 18 months to live, which only will be probably about 2 seasons or so, which is why I said that, season 5 is really where the show's going to take a turn. Whether it's like, hey, is this show getting redundant, or hey, are we going to finish this story? But especially if you write the comics, you know where this is going. And but we do get also introduction new characters as well, such as excuse me 1 second. We get introduction to Jeffrey Dean Working's character. We don't know who the character is yet. We thought there's possibility that the character might be Tech Knight, another bot superhero, or bot character. But it looks like he's playing a ally to Billy Butcher, which is interesting. But again, anything that goes on with the show, anybody can be an ally, and soon turn to a foe. Only time will tell. But and again, we also get introduction to new characters as well, such as I think it's called Firecracker as well. And I forgot the other girl's name. I think her name is Sister Sage. Yeah, these are 2 characters that are going to be replacing Starlight and Maeve. Now, Maeve, she supposedly died, even though we know she didn't. She just escaped and faked her death. But Starlight actually left and flee, but still was acting like a political figure, as you see in the show. So the fact that you have, a character who's also a firecracker, she I think she has looked like when I was reading the headline that she has like a podcast called Truth Bomber, which she's probably just going to call out the system and everything, but at the same time spreading lies through social media for VOT's sake. But for Sister Sage, she's also being there for the tokenism and also representation. Just as remember in Gen V when we said that Marie might want to be the first Black woman in the 7. However, this woman right here beat her. And Sister Sage, like she's in on it, who Homelander is, because I think she was the one giving the narration about Julius Caesar to Homelander. So again, what's her intentions and what can she do? But only time will tell. But yeah, we also see that in the footage here that we're getting return of certain characters, but also we're getting return of actually I forgot was Black Noir. And now if you don't understand what's going on in the comics with Black Noir, again, obviously this show took a different approach with him, but he, spoiler alert, gets killed by Homelander at the end of season 3. But now we see him return and we see him in the background trailers and stuff like that. So what does that mean? Now, I don't know if there might be some cloning or anything like that, but we do know for a fact that that Black Noir is returning. Now, whether they want to do this character and adaptation in the comics, I don't know. But again, they're going to take some creative liberties because this is not the same Black Noir it is in the comics and everything. They did a completely original thing, especially last season was heavily on Black Noir. We're probably going to also get some other returning characters too. I believe Justin Ackles is going to come back as a Soldier Boy in some form or fashion, because they're gonna have to address it. But with Black Noir, there's still some mystery to his character, like whether because in the comics and even the show that you are still able to use Compound V to revive people. This is just the fact that, for example, in Black Noir case, if they revive him, he basically be brain dead, and just be like a mindless zombie. But even though in the previous seasons he was just a mute, he still had a mind of his own. But whether they're going to go down that route creatively, I don't know. Only time will tell. But aside from that, we do get returning characters such as Victoria Newman, now being in the seat of being the vice president of the United States, and she can an election. But what you find out in the show of Gen V, the fact that there is a virus that's going out there or that's been created to stop soups. Now, and she now has the virus. Now, whether she's going to weaponize it or actually, use it for her advantage or anything, or destroy it, the only time will tell. But again, not to spoil anything going on in the comics or anything like that, but there is definitely a plan that Victoria Newman has that's not involving Homelander and involving something else, and we don't know. But only time will tell with that. But I'm looking forward to Victoria Newman. We know that she can return of her daughter in the film, not in the film, in the show. And the last time we saw her daughter was in season 3, whether she actually injected Compound V into her system. So, and now, so we see that in the trailer that she actually has some powers as well. And whether the child making it out alive or not, that's the only time will tell with that. But again, Victoria Newman is definitely going to be a big threat, and she's playing. She's been trained by Stan Edgar, or basically fathered by Stan Edgar. Stan Edgar basically quoted saying, "Hey, play all sides." So you don't know what side really she's playing for, even though she is a soup, but she's still advocating against soups, but also at the same time trying to get to election and have a relationship, a professional relationship with Homelander. So again, only time will tell with that though. But aside from that, that actually concludes some of our topics today. in the Jedi X movie new show. I didn't want to keep you guys here long, but I do have to get some rest though. I need to get some sleep. And I gotta call my wife. So I know Jay King, he had to hop off though, but I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Let me know your thoughts on the topics we covered today. And make sure you also share the content, share it to somebody, their comic book lover, movie lover, into films and anything. Please share the content down over to them. I have some interviews and stuff dropping later this week, so please stay tuned for that. Going on everything in the world movies. I still have some things throughout this week that I have to cover. I have a whole laundry list of like films that movie studios and stuff and like sending me. I still have to watch, but so yeah, I just got some time. I got a lot of work to do, but that means I got a lot of content for you guys to see. So, but yeah, but till next time, you guys can find me on Jedi Mike 7 on YouTube and also on Instagram as well. Shout out to people in the chat. Shout out to any content creators that showed up in the chat. Make sure you guys show support to their channels as well. Till next time, this is Jedi Mike 7. I know Jay King in spirit. Peace. We are out. God bless y'all.
Is there anything you want the fans to know or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.